It's our pleasure to introduce our guest, who is an absolute authority on South Africa. We have, and also I'd like to point out that it is 1 a.m. his time locally in Cape Town. So we are absolutely thrilled that Mr. Warren Weitz is joining us. I'll give you a little introduction and then we'll say hi to Warren. He is the co-founder of Explore More Travel. He has been in the business for 15 years in the travel business, but a lifetime of experience. As you can see from this picture, he's a super active guy. He's an avid golfer and quite a good golfer. He's played all the top courses in South Africa, so he'll speak with authority on all the courses we are going to preview on our tour. He's also a very accomplished active trail runner, and from this picture he's an open water swimmer in the Torpedo series. And then this is my note at the bottom, but I believe it, I say the most interesting man in the world. Welcome, Warren. Thank you again. It's an absolute pleasure to have you along. How are you?
Good. Thanks so much, Kevin and Marianne. Thanks for letting me have a chat tonight about the country that I obviously love and really passionate about. It's quite an introduction. I'm not quite sure what to say. I'm blushing.
Well, let's.
No, thanks so much. Yeah.
I'm sure you are actually a lot more comfortable talking about your beloved country, South Africa, than you are yourself. So let's just do a very, very brief overview of South Africa. Country of 60 million people, 11 officially recognized languages, amazing diversity of culture, geography, animal diversity, plant diversity. It really, that's why I've included in the notes, it is a world in one country.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't describe it any better. You know, we've had such an interesting last 27, 28 years. The country's changed so much in a very short space of time since the launch of our democracy in 1994. And yeah, I mean, it's the ultimate wine, golf, safari, and adventure destination. You know, we're very fortunate to have such a unique offering. There's very few places in the world where you can play golf in the morning and then be on an afternoon game drive with the Big Five on an authentic safari experience. It just doesn't happen too often in this world. And then obviously matched with the unique quality and an exceptional value for money we have on the ground. It really is a special destination. But okay, I am slightly biased. I'm a proud South African, but I really believe in the destination, and I also believe that it's a life-changing travel destination. You know, we have a lot of people traveling in here for the first time who have always wanted to visit South Africa, and they leave just absolutely awestruck.
Yeah. I had a similar experience. I was lucky enough to go to South Africa for the first time in February of 2018 with my wonderful wife here, Marianne. She had been to Africa, and in particular South Africa, a few times prior, and I had the same experience. For me, it was life-changing, and I consider it my favorite destination in the world. And I hope people have the same experience. I think there may be at times for certain people a little intimidation factor, maybe with going to Africa for the first time. It's a big trip, it's a big commitment, but if you're willing to take that step, you're going to be rewarded.
Truly, if somebody does appreciate wine, loves golf, and wants to go to Africa, is world class for all three of those things.
Absolutely.
Like you just, safari is top. The wines, the world knows South African wines, and the golf. So it's really, one destination is going to hit all three.
So
we've been so lucky. Sorry, can I
go ahead,
just add? We've been so lucky over the years. Obviously, we've got some fantastic golfing ambassadors on the professional golf circuit, and the likes of Ernie Els and Gary Player and the young guys, Louis Oosthuizen. And I mean, they're flying the flag for us, and they're also passionate about what this country has to offer. So the golf is incredible. We're very fortunate to have some great courses in the Cape region. The Western Cape is actually the best golfing destination in the country. So what we've chosen in this itinerary is really spot on.
So we'll do a little brief orientation with a map. Most people will fly into Cape Town. Perhaps it's possible to fly into Johannesburg first, but let's start in Cape Town. We're going to take a short flight over to George here and the garden route. And we'll move on to our next slide. We are going to start this tour off in George in the garden route. Wow, can't get off to a better start than the garden route. If you can, Warren, give us a little overview on the area.
Yes, so George and the garden route is about a 40-minute flight from Cape Town or a 2-hour flight from Johannesburg.
Okay.
There are numerous options to get into the country from Europe or from Canada or from the US. So we can talk about that later in detail. The first stop on the tour is Fancourt, which is arguably one of the world's greatest golf resorts and definitely South Africa's #1. It's home to 3 fantastic golf courses, including our #1, which is the Links, host of the President's Cup, and a Gary Player masterpiece. So we've started you off at Fancourt. Gives you a great opportunity to spend 4 nights at one resort where you can get over the long flight, enjoy some of the best golf, great cuisine, and just a wonderful experience. And that picture really says it all. The left image is the 18th green with the Montague and Outeniqua clubhouse behind it, and then obviously the Outeniqua Mountains in the foreground. Fantastic.
I understand too that the resort itself is a luxury resort, but it's understated luxury. It's a relaxed atmosphere. It's it strikes me as truly a place to relax and just enjoy the area.
Yeah, it's a really big resort, obviously home to 3 golf courses, but even though it has over 100 rooms, it doesn't feel like a massive hotel. They're all really put together to focus on what the golfer needs. They're very spacious, 3 or 4 fantastic restaurants, practice facilities bar none. So yeah, it really ticks off all the boxes for the golfing client.
So we just have a little short video here, just giving a little overview of the golf course. So 3 golf courses, we will be playing 2 of them. This just gets me excited to play golf looking at this.
Fancourt's world class. It really is world class. So as Kevin, as you said, we in the itinerary you've included Montague, which is a top 10 parkland golf course, really exceptional, and then obviously the Links, which is the #1. It's extremely exclusive. We only have access to I think 24 spots during the course of each day for hotel guests. So they really roll out the red carpets, and it's no joke, there's a red carpet, and they welcome you with open arms, and they do it properly. So I'm so pleased that the Links is included. It's an exceptional experience.
So we're going to just bring a little shape to the tour. Our first round is going to be at the Montague course, and I'll let you speak from authority from the research I've done, and I've watched a lot of videos. I can't get enough of watching videos and flyovers on YouTube and etc. This strikes me as a perfect way to start off a golf tournament. Or a golf tour, sorry. This is a top 10. You can make it, well, it could be a tournament depending on our guests, how serious they are. We can do a number of things, whether they want to do a Ryder Cup, a friendly tournament, but tour was the right choice of words. To start off on this course,
a friendly wager or 2.
Friendly wager doesn't hurt. Yeah. This is in the top 10 list. I like course rankings. I tend not to get too caught up in them. Sometimes it can be extremely personal for one person might say, okay, well, this is the fourth course ranked, but I hated it. I don't think this is going to be the case with this course. Strikes me as being challenging, but from the right set of tees, extremely playable, incredible conditioning. You're not going to see a better conditioned course anywhere. It's prime time in South Africa. The weather's going to be great. Should be 25, 26 degrees Celsius. That's for our American viewers, just in the high 70s Fahrenheit. Perfect weather. Some of your thoughts on this course?
Yeah, so it's a classic traditional parkland layout.
Parkland course, right.
You're quite right. It's playable for all handicaps. I think that's the absolute something we do need to discuss. You know, there's so many different tee boxes. So even though it can be quite tough for the high handicapper, if you want to play off the fronts or some of the front tees, you know, it really is playable. It's got nice wide fairways. The green complexes can be a bit tricky at times, but fantastic POA greens. And you know, this hole we're looking at here is the 17th hole, so it looks really daunting. But I think the shortest tee box is about 110 meters, so you know, like 120 odd yards. So it's still not too ridiculous. But some really good holes. And yeah, I think it's a great way to kickstart the tour off.
And speaking as a higher handicapper, speaking for the higher handicappers out there, I've played a lot of top courses. Enjoy them, play them, and just, you know, be cautious of your pace of play, obviously. But if you know, enjoy it. Look around, experience it, and just be there. Don't expect to have, you know, you're not going to break 100 maybe, but just really enjoy the course. And
that's a great point. You can shoot 110 on your home course. You can shoot 110 on a great course on vacation. So it's
just see it.
Yeah, good. It's a good point. So you know, obviously we're not too. We all get worked up. Sometimes we want to shoot our best scores all the time. But you know, Montague's a tough parkland layout, but it is really special. And it's quite funny because the links, even though it's number one, I think it's a slightly easier course for a high handicapper.
Interesting.
Off the front tees. So you know, again, it's a type of course where visually it's just incredible, and you think, oh my word, how am I going to get my golf ball around here? But it's relatively open. But one thing also Fancourt is famous for is the caddy system. So you know, I highly recommend walking these courses. Montague is an easy walking golf course. So if you do like walking, I highly recommend it. Take a caddy. They're well trained. They know exactly what they do. He's going to save you 10 shots straight away.
Yeah.
You know, so same goes for the links. Definitely take a caddy. It's relatively inexpensive. You know, I'm a bit of a thumbsuck, but I think for, you know, 30 to 40 Canadian, you can get yourself a caddy for the day and have just an all-time experience. So it's definitely worth it.
That's a great point, Warren.
New course, a caddy makes all the difference.
Yeah, green reading, green. It's going to save you those 3 putts.
So and then obviously the spa facilities is a picture of getting a hot stone massage. So the spa facility at Fancourt is really great, and it's something that, you know, we can pre-book certain treatments if need be, you know, massages or anything, you name it. I know, Kevin, you like the odd facial or two, so
There's this pedicure he's all about.
Pedicure, manicure, you know, but that's something that we can definitely do. And then, you know, there's a couple of different pool areas. There's a pool bar. There's a great little pizzeria next to the main pool clubhouse. You know, cuisine we can talk about later, but it really is all under one roof. So you don't actually have to leave Fancourt. But the one day, you know, we are going off to Pinnacle Point for a round of golf, which is one of our spectacular coastal golf courses, only, you know, 45 minutes or so away from Fancourt. So we'll coach you in a luxury coach with one of our team on board. And it's an exceptional golf course. It can be a bit tough in the wind sometimes, but in March, you know, hopefully it's not going to be too windy and the weather's generally fantastic.
Well, that was a perfect transition to our next slide, actually, Warren. It's going to be interesting at the end of the tour, and I hate to talk about the end of the tour already. What people's favorite golf courses might be, just based on their own experience and what they saw. And I have a feeling this one could be at the top of
Oh,
a
I
few
think so.
lists. I think this is a day where, regardless of what you shoot, you are going to have an amazing day. The shot values, the views. I don't see how you have a bad day here. I don't see how it's possible.
It's incredible. So they've designed something really special on the cliff tops of a little seaside town called Mossel Bay. As I said, like 45 minutes or so away from Fancourt. And very special. You know, it certainly gets you thinking off a few of the tee boxes. But again, it's generally wide fairways, good, nice flowing entrances to the greens. So you don't have to worry about flying the ball too far. You can always roll them up and use the slopes, and it's very special. So you've chosen two great pictures. There are some fantastic views. So there's a lot to still see.
We have a little quick clip here from our friends at YouTube. This is a flyover of number 1, just to get a little taste of what it's like.
So it's an uphill par 4. Looks quite daunting from the first tee because it is uphill, but the fairway is really wide. And then, as I said, you can run it up to this first green. It's not too challenging, apart from that big bunker. But it's a nice big wide fairway, so you can just pull out the driver and pretty much hit driver all day there. It's nice and wide.
Kind of reminds me of Corrales in the Dominican.
Yeah, you can just get a sense of how good the views are. What a piece of land. I think, to me, it seems like South Africa's answer to Pebble Beach, or Canada's Cabot Cliffs. It's spectacular seaside routing with dramatic shots.
It's cool. We all of us have got these great courses like Cape Kidnappers in New Zealand, and Old Head in Ireland, and we've got something like this in Pinnacle. It's fantastic. So that picture on the right hand side is obviously the clubhouse with the 18th green on the sort of bottom of the screen, and then the top, towards the middle, is the 9th hole, and it's a shortish par 3 over the cliffs. They've also actually found an unbelievable archaeological site underneath one of these greens that we can take you down if we have time. But they've found some amazing things from thousands of years ago, which is fantastic.
Oh, that's very interesting.
So there's golf.
I'll make a note to tell you about that, Kevin, and Marianne. It's very interesting.
Yeah. I had did some reading about the caves, and it's basically the history of mankind. It literally goes back that far. The archaeological remains and relics and paintings and things they found in the caves.
Oh,
that's truly spectacular.
It is quite something, yeah.
But
and then we move to the links.
We must continue golfing, because that's what we're all about. And now we really do tee it up at among the world's very best courses. And I don't say that for promotional reasons. That is just simply the facts with Fancourt Links. This is the home course of many South African PGA and European pros, Brandon Grace and Dylan Fratelli. Everyone in South Africa, all the Oosthuizen, Els, Retief, all of them have tested their game at this course.
Yeah. So it's one of the best in the world. I mean, top 40 in the world outside the US, I think, at the moment. So yeah, they do it differently. As I said, it is an exclusive golf course. I think they only have maybe 19 members. So we don't have an unlimited supply of tee times, but that also makes it quite good, actually. So we can get your group on. It feels like the golf course is yours for the day. You walk in, the staff will know you by name, and they roll out the red carpets. You stand on the first tee, and they'll pour you a single malt scotch and talk about the lunch and give you some things for the first hole, and then you turn around and you see this magnificent golf hole, and it's very special. So again, it's a walking. This is actually a walking only course. We can arrange a golf cart, but if you can walk, I would highly suggest get out there and walk. That's just a magnificent picture. It's the 15th hole, a short par 4. And again, it might look daunting, but it's not. You know, if you play off the right tees, it's wide. You know, it really is. You just have to listen to the caddy and smile, because it's pretty special.
I think you make a good point. I believe golf is much better when walked. Obviously, in North America in particular, a lot of resort courses have holes that are routed around real estate, or for whatever reason are just simply too long to walk. But the very best golf is played walking. I feel you feel more connected to the course.
I agree.
There's a proper time in between your shots. If you hit a particularly bad one, you can blow some steam up. If you've hit a good one, there's nothing better than walking down the fairway to see where your ball is and to set up the second shot. So I think walking this course would just enhance an already spectacular experience.
And I think with walking, you're thinking about your next shot, right? So you're walking to your next shot, you're looking at the landscape, you're thinking about it. When you're in a cart, you're usually two people in a cart. And so you leave your shot to go deal with their shot.
Or your husband forgets where you hit your ball. Is that?
Or your husband drives by your tees or things like that.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Occasionally guilty.
Walking really just lets you connect to your own game and stay in there.
So,
Yeah.
you know, also, as I said, you have, you know, some drinks on the first, not necessarily alcoholic drinks, but, you know, they'll give you some water and a couple of things and some fruit and a scotch if you want on the first tee. And then they do have a drinks cart that drives around, so you can always replenish what you need. The halfway house is really special, overlooking the 9th hole and the Otaniqua Mountains. And you pre-order your lunch, so you get there, the guy's making you a seared tuna salad right there as you're walking, or whatever you want. And it's a very special experience. So it's actually a very easy walking course. There's a lot of little rolling sections, lots of undulations, but it's relatively flat. So it's a nice, easy walking course.
Yeah, it just seems like Gary Player, and I've seen statements of his, this is his absolute favorite design. I think he's well into the hundreds in terms of courses designed. Obviously inspired by the classic British Isle links type experience with the South African twist and flair, and perfect use of the land, indigenous shrubs and grasses and plants. And this to me is a real bucket list experience.
Absolutely. And you know, each hole has its own name and its own story. So, you know, as you walk up to the tee, you'll notice a little plaque and a little story, and it's
awesome.
It's really done well. So yeah, probably the best walking golf experience in South Africa. So.
Well, it's tough to say goodbye to George and the garden route, but we must, and we are going to work our way back to Cape Town. And your home, Warren. What can you tell us about Cape Town? I know you could probably fill up the entire show with talking about Cape Town. I think looks to me one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
We're very fortunate. Sure, you know, I've traveled all over the world, and I've been very, very lucky with my travels. But coming home is always a good thing. So everybody knows Cape Town and Table Mountain, and what an exceptional backdrop to one of the most beautiful cities in the world. So yeah, we've got a couple of fantastic activities lined up in Cape Town. We've got some really good wineries that we'll visit, good golf courses, and a couple of tours. It's a multicultural city. We have about 5 million or so people that live, you know, within the Cape surrounds. And yeah, I'm biased. I love it. I couldn't think of any other place that I'd rather travel. So the picture on the left there. Well,
oh, sorry, I jumped slides on you, Warren.
No problem. So there's the cable car going up Table Mountain. Definitely something we'd love people to experience. And Table Mountain has this just spectacular view of the City Bowl and Robben Island in the background there.
Yeah, and then spectacular restaurants on top of Table Mountain, including Two Oceans Restaurant.
So Two Oceans is actually in the Cape Point.
Oh,
on the Southern
my
Peninsula.
mistake. Okay.
Yeah. So we more than likely won't do a lunch on the mountain, but we'll take up some things, and there'll be, you know, waters and snacks, etc. But we'll do lunch in the Cape Point Nature Reserve, which is on the southern tip of our peninsula.
And let's have a look at our home away from home, the Victoria and Alfred Hotel, right in the heart of the waterfront district.
Correct. So great choice for you to stay in Cape Town. So the waterfront area is a hive of activity, from shops to restaurants, to a couple of fun bars with local bands and entertainment. In the back of that photo, you'll notice the Cape Town Stadium, which is where we hosted one of the semi-finals of the World Cup in 2010. Yeah, just a wonderful all-round hotel. Got a couple of good restaurants, although we prefer just to walk into the waterfront and have dinner at some of our fantastic restaurants in the waterfront area. But again, great location, and we want you to get out on foot and explore the waterfront and parts of the city. You will have one of our preferred guides on the ground, and you can use him or her just to feel maybe a little safer if you are feeling a little anxious about walking. But I really think get out on foot and explore. It's such a
many times, and the waterfront is beautiful, and I would never be nervous walking around.
No,
yeah,
you definitely don't need to be. It really is special. So get out on foot and do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think our guests are going to love the V&A as well. It in an area of so much activity, once inside the hotel, calm, peaceful, similar feel to Fancourt, understated, classy, luxury. You've kind of got it all in this location.
Exactly right. So
yeah, take it as easy as you want in the hotel, have as much fun as you want in the waterfront.
I got a good balance between luxury and really good service, which is important. So yeah, perfect hotel to be based for 5 nights in the Cape, and it's going to be a fairly busy couple of days. You know, you've got 2 rounds of golf and a tour. And a wine tasting, and you're going up Table Mountain, so there's quite a lot happening. But I think there's a good balance. There's definitely enough time to spend a bit of time experiencing it for yourself and walking around, you know, doing some shopping.
Definite shopping.
Yeah.
All right, the sound of shopping that makes me a bit nervous. So I'm going to hit to the next slide, and we're going to get back to golf and Steenberg Golf and Vineyards. Really cool looking course. To my eye, it looks a little bit of a hybrid between Parkland and links golf. Once again, superbly conditioned, and that's been my experience. The 2 courses I've played in South Africa, great conditioning. What can you tell us about this course, Warren? So
yeah, Steenberg is located about 25-30 minutes from the heart of the waterfront.
Oh, that's nice.
It's situated on the oldest wine farm in the country, actually. The farm was founded in 1682 by a Dutch lady who came out as a stowaway, as a single lady, which was almost unheard of. And she hopped on an old boat and came out here and made friends with Simon van der Stel, who was at the time running the Cape area, and he gave her this piece of land, and she started the first wine farm. And she had like 9 husbands. I don't know why they kept on dying on her, but she was quite an interesting woman, and her name was Katerina. And so the hotel, it's got a 5-star hotel. It's got a wonderful winery. It's got an incredible bistro and fine dining restaurant. Named after Katerina, and the golf course is a parkland layout, you know, playable. It meanders in and out the vineyards, great mountain views again. Yeah, you can't go wrong. Great golfing experience.
And it sounds like a great glass of wine is available after the round, maybe during the round.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, the Stenberg is an incredible winery. They do top end reds and whites. They are known for their white wines in that specific area, but fantastic.
So in addition to all the sights and sounds of Cape Town, we'll also tour and get out a bit more in the Cape Peninsula area. Here are some views. Once again, I don't think pictures will ever really do it justice of some of the scenic vistas people are going to see while touring the Cape Peninsula. And of course, everyone has to see the penguins.
So the tour is a full day experience, and it works its way around the Cape Peninsula. We'll stop off at Boulders Beach and have a good interaction with the African penguin. When I say good interaction, like you can't go and they're wild animals, but you can get really close and take some great photos. Fantastic animal. And you know, if for the more adventurous, we may even be able to get you on the water, maybe do it like a little stand-up paddling experience where they're coming under your paddling boat, and it's fantastic. And then we go down through the southern peninsula to Cape Point, which is a nature reserve. That beach in front of you is called Dias Beach, and it's one of the beaches where the first Dutch boats came in and stopped during one of the storms. We're known as the Cape of Storms. Actually, we're quite far south. If you look at how far south Southern Africa is, it's quite exceptional on the world map. But Cape Peninsula, just a wonderful experience. We're going to take you in there. Loads of wildlife. We'll do a little bit of walking to the actual the tip of the peninsula, and we'll have some lunch at the same time, and then we'll meander back along the coast through one of our iconic drives called Chapman's Peak. So yeah, full day experience, take loads of photos, and definitely one for the memory bank.
Sounds awesome. So after that day, the golf muscles hopefully are rested up a little bit. Everyone's raring to go again, and we're going to tee it up at Pearl Valley Golf. And how do you beat these mountain backdrops?
Yeah, very special. Pearl Valley is located in Franschhoek, in the Franschhoek area, another well-known wine area in the Cape. It's about an hour coach transfer, and it's a Jack Nicklaus golf course design. And Jack Nicklaus has designed, oh man, 4 or 5 golf courses now in South Africa. You know, he's good friends with Gary Player, and they've worked on numerous projects. And this is Jack Nicklaus's signature course in the Cape. It's hosted the South African Open numerous times, a couple of other international events. And yeah, number 2 in our country. So it's great. You're ticking off the links to the number 1, you're ticking off Pearl Valley, number 2. And then we won't talk about it now, but you're also going to play Leopard Creek. So yeah, Pearl Valley, wonderful. We'll get out there and make sure you warmed up. Fantastic driving range, and all around good golfing experience. I've
had the pleasure to play quite a few, probably around a dozen Jack Nicklaus design courses in a few places in the world. And I will say his courses, generally speaking, are very fair. They play very well for resort or vacation golf. They're particularly, now every course can be a bit different, but generally speaking, very fair off the tee, second shot courses. And once again, a common theme, if you play the right tees, you'll most likely have a very favorable score on a Jack Nicklaus course.
I'd probably say Pearl Valley has the best fairways and green complexes in South Africa. Just fantastic grass to hit off. I love it. I mean, I'm a fairly low handicap golf. I just absolutely love it. It's awesome. So always a treat to go and check it out. It suits a fade, typical Jack Nicklaus.
Yeah, the high fade.
The high fade. So the high handicapper generally likes it too. And playable. Again, loads of different tee complexes. It can be on the tough side, but it's very special when you got those backdrops.
Yeah.
no problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to sort out my current issue with a low hook before Pearl Valley. I think I've got it sorted out, but that might be trouble. So of course, let's not forget about the wine. This is the wine alone would be a reason to visit South Africa for a lot of people, and the quality of vineyards. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we've
how can you
been
go
so
wrong?
fortunate with our South African wines. They've done really well overseas too. And yeah, we're going to stop off at a couple of different wineries. You know, what we can also do is maybe have a discussion with the group, you know, prior to the Cape Town part of the tour, and we can talk about what people want to see. And but there's no shortage of wine, I can assure you. And it does tend to get drunk in large quantities in South Africa.
No
We're
problem
very
for
fortunate.
Canadians and
Yeah.
Americans alike. I think we
Yeah.
can match the South Africans on that
Yeah.
front. I hope.
I think
Please give it
I
a
think-
fair attempt.
I think we'll have some fun, definitely. Yeah, we also obviously we're famous for our wines. We've got some fantastic craft breweries from the beer side, and we're now
Beer's
starting
good.
we're starting to take steps with our gin, and there's just no shortage of social entertainment. So we'll be sure to tick off those boxes.
Well, now we'll go back to the map, and we are going to go to a sorry, I turned it off. Okay, a little new to PowerPoint and Zoom. Okay, with the laser pointer. So from Cape Town, in the far southwest corner of the country, we will be going diagonally to the north and east to the Kruger area. And Kruger National Park is an absolute world-class national park and one of the very top in the world, serviced by an international airport. So you will be flying into a very well-serviced airport. In case you have visions of you know, a bush plane type landing, that's not the case at all. And now it's a really exciting time of the tour. We're going to get into safari time, starting with our accommodations at the Jocks Safari Lodge.
So just to touch base on the logistics side of things. So
Yeah.
Cape Town to the Nelspruit airport, or there's another airport we could use called Skukuza. It's about a 2-hour, 15-minute flight. So, you know, not too crazy. And as you said, really good airport. It's got everything you need. It's not a bush plane. It's generally, you know, a smaller jet. So it's not propellers or anything. It's a proper experience. And Jock Safari Lodge is one of our preferred safari experiences, and it's based in the southern part of the Kruger National Park. It's home to the big 5 free roaming animals, and you know, we are huge fans of Jock Safari Lodge. It's based on an old dry riverbed. The game viewing is absolutely outstanding. You know, I can never say you're going to definitely see the big 5, but more than likely over a 3-night stay, you're going to see the big 5. So it really is good. So there's a couple of options. You know, Jock Safari Lodge is good. There's also Lukimbi Safari Lodge in the area, and there's numerous options that are also linked to the Leopard Creek Golf Course. So the safari experience, thumbs up. It really is wonderful. Generally, we go on 2 game drives per day. One in the morning and one in the evening. And you know, they leave pretty early in the morning. We like to do a sunrise out in the game viewer vehicle. But it's a really great experience. And if you haven't seen, you know, Africa's Big 5 in person, then this is something to look forward to.
Yeah, it's really an incredible experience. And I mean, Mary could talk forever, all her experiences on safaris and lodges. My first game drive in Kruger in February of 2018, I was lucky enough to have seen the Big 5 by 10 a.m. in the morning. Now, that's not always going to happen, but no, that's the beauty of the game drive. We're not going to a zoo, so you're not going station to station to station to see the animals. You kind of see what you see, but there's no such thing as a bad game drive. You're going to see something every time, and you're going to see it in different. It's a magical experience. And the cool thing I found about leaving so early in the morning when it's just dark and twilight is a sense of anticipation. And you do get to see kind of the end of what I call the night shift, some of the nocturnal animals, and then you get to see the beginning of the day shift as the animals are just kind of waking up and starting their day. But for me, it was magical. Even just driving around in the bush, even if I just saw birds and the odd wildebeest or kudu, or there is no bad game drive.
Yeah,
so
you're quite right. So if everybody wants to see the lion or the elephant or the rhino, or the leopard, or some dogs in the background there.
Yeah, that's our dog Kai is making an appearance. It must have heard something about animals.
Yeah, but there's also important things. There's the African dung beetle and little insects and the birds, and it's just so cool. And you'll be joined by a highly experienced ranger who has got knowledge on tap, and these guys know so much, and it really is inspiring to spend time with them on a game drive. And sometimes you have to just scratch your head and go, wow, there's so much you don't know about the safari experience. So very, very special. So do yourself a favor. I know some of them are early, but get up and go on everyone. They're well worth it.
But after our safari experience, we are back to golf. And the quality of the course is already, how can you beat Leopard Creek Golf Course? Another course that has been in the top 100 rankings. It's jumps around. I depending on the rankings, I've seen it #1 in South Africa, #3, #5. It's really a special place, not only for the quality of golf, which is every bit there, and shot value, but in a sense, the safari experience may continue on the golf course. You're probably going to see a few, if not quite a few, animals while playing golf. Correct?
Correct. So Leopard Creek is only a short drive away from the preferred safari lodges in the area. So we'll take you out there in a game viewing vehicle. It's based on the border of the southern part of the Kruger Park. So the Crocodile River is actually in between the national park and the golf course. There's no fences, so you have animals crossing over all the time. But it's a safe experience. You don't need to be concerned about that. You'll probably see giraffe and buck and some antelope, and then on the other side of the Crocodile River, you'll see elephant and some of the other animals. So the golf course has been #1 in the country for quite some time. It's now just been pushed down the rankings a couple of spots, but it's one of our unique golfing experiences. Not many places that you can play golf on the border of a national park, so pretty special. It's owned by Johan Rupert, so he again doesn't like too many people on the golf course, so we have got a certain allocation, and it's always quite special. And those bronze statues are something that you can take note of, and it starts off with a leopard on the first tee, and it gets the leopard sort of picks up pace, and it goes on a hunt as the golf course keeps on going. So very, very cool to see.
Yeah, there's
there's some giraffe there coming down the 18th. There's that leopard again. That's actually after he's done the kill. There's the Crocodile River on the right. So very special. It's a driving golf course, so it isn't a golf cart. I think they pretty much do that because there are some animals on the golf course, and it's just in case you need to drive away. But don't worry about the croc. Don't worry about the crocodile. There are some, but it's again it's a unique experience with the animals, but you don't need to stress about the.
No, we're not trying to scare everyone. I just couldn't help but include a picture of the croc. If this does, we're more than fine, free drop, free relief.
Yeah.
If you wish to play it as it is, maybe
Yeah.
have your out-of-country insurance at hand.
Yeah.
And for those of us that play golf frequently in the American Southeast, particularly Myrtle Beach or Florida, quite used to alligators, American alligators on the course. And more often than not, they're quick to scurry off in the water.
Yeah, so unlike the alligator, like our crocodiles will never get out the water and go, and so it's quite interesting. So you're more than likely not going to see them, but you are going to see giraffe and antelope and some other animals. Awesome.
So that is sadly, I guess, the end of our golf experience on the tour. But just to recap, I think an incredible selection of golf courses and diversity of courses to play. I think it's a really memorable golf experience you've put together here, Warren.
Yeah, I think I'm very, very happy with the selection of courses. A nice, well-rounded golfing experience, some tougher courses, some nice, easy parkland experiences. You've got the clifftop golf in the garden route. Yeah. You've got the wine golf in Cape Town. You've got the safari experience and golf in the Kruger. You can't really go wrong. It's fantastic.
Yep, and we will cap it off with another day at Kruger. So it's not completely over. And this is just, once again, a wonderful chance to maybe see that lion you didn't catch the first time, or a leopard, or simply just enjoy the game drive and take it as it comes. It's and the other thing too is the lodge lifestyle as a guest at a lodge is really second to none. The amount of luxury, and you can really speak to this, Mayor, having been in many lodges all over South Africa and Africa. It's amazing the luxury that can be included in the rooms and the amenities in just such a it really becomes like a camp for adults, a very high end, just a fun place to be together. And the nice thing is there's always something going on. Generally speaking, the daytime in between the game drives is a time to chill out, and you can spend time by the pool. It's a good time to read. You might need a nap after the early game drive, but the lodge experience and for me, Warren, is just second to none.
Yeah. So you've touched on all the aspects. You do have early mornings, but you've got plenty day chill time. Afternoon naps by the pool or in your little private room, and drinks around the Boma fire after the game drive, and dinner, and lots of stories and pictures to be shared, etc. So one of the special experiences, and if you haven't been on safari, I highly recommend it. It's very special. And then also, I might add, if anybody would like to chat to you about any additional post trips, a lot of our clients end up extending and going to Botswana or Vic Falls or all these other bucket list destinations. So if anybody wants to chat to you about that, then we can always assist with that information.
The other thing I want to add really quickly, if anyone has any doubts about the food at these lodges, please, you're not going to have a better meal. The food is spectacular. I actually found that some of the best meals I've ever had have been at lodges in South Africa, and use of local foods, locally sourced foods, incredible.
We're very lucky. It's fresh produce, a lot of farm to table experiences. It caters for vegetarians, but if you like, classic red meat experiences, we've got it all, and obviously because we're based in the South, our seafood is also fantastic. So there's no issues with our cuisine. It's world-class, and it will blow you away.
Absolutely. So just as a overview on our tour, our South Africa Golf, Wine, and Safari, March 17th to 29th, 2022. And I think I can speak for all of us. It's been a really tough stretch. It's been a long stretch without travel, and that's not also to diminish the very real hardships a lot of people have experienced because of COVID-19. We're not totally out of it yet, but there's some very encouraging signs, and the world is opening up again. And the time is coming up to travel and to get back to the world and experiences. And we'd love to be a part of it for you all. Our tour, double occupancy, just under 10,000 Canadian a person. Single, 12,899. We do have some non-golfer rates, and we did touch a lot on the golf. All these destinations, there are things and inclusions and lots of activities for non-golfers to do, as also the resorts are wonderful for just enjoying them while your partner may be golfing, or whatever the case may be. The double occupancy, as you can see, 8,499, and the single just a little over 11,000. And Mary, did you have a few things to add in terms of inclusions or?
Yeah, so we can just go through we kind of talked about everything, but just to give you a list of the inclusions. So it's gonna be the 12 nights luxury accommodations, your breakfast every day, 3 lunches, 3 dinners. There's 6 18-hole championship round courses, wine tasting at Steenberg. There's the Table Mountain Cableway, entrance to Cape Point, entrance to Boulders Beach, entrance to Chapman's Peak, 3 wine tastings, a welcome gift, fun match with prizes, porterage at the airports and hotels, your internal flights, and transportation throughout, airport transfers. You'll have a dream destination tour host there to make sure everything's running very smoothly for you. And then, of course, the non-golfer package includes all of that, just without the golf course.
Very good. Well, I think we are coming to the end of our travel talk. We can't thank you enough for joining us. Warren, we cannot thank you enough for your expertise, for all your work, and the folks at Explore More Travel in putting this together, and for joining us at such an ungodly hour, your time.
I'll get you back, Kevin.
Yes. I'm on the hook. Pick your.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you, I am in my other life. I work a 24-hour schedule, so I'm used to being up at terrible times. But please, I'll join you anytime at your local time. Thank you again.
It's been a pleasure, and I think you pretty much can tell I'm really passionate about what we have to offer.
Absolutely.
Myself and my team are so excited to get things going again. It's been a ridiculous time, and travel is something that we all love, and I think with what South Africa has to offer, we can tick off all these wonderful experiences, and let's make it happen. So if there's any questions, please forward them on to us. Happy to chat, or even have additional calls, just to answer anything.
And once again, thank you for joining us. Remember, you can get this exact itinerary, dreamdestinationtravel.com/South Africa. Please, if you haven't already, join us on Facebook at Dream Destination Travel. And you can email me anytime, Kevin at dream/destination/travel.com. We'd love to hear from you. And for the people that didn't join us, of course, we recorded this, and we will get this link to you. Can't thank everyone enough. Warren, thank you again. Time to get some sleep, brother.
Thank you so much.
Look forward to it.
And thank you to everybody who joined us. We really appreciate it. Any questions you have, let us know.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you, Mayor, and we are just thrilled at the chance of taking some folks to South Africa.
Right.
Good night.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers, Warren.
Cheers.